watched Ashley's interview on AD's podcast, so you didn't have to, and you're welcome because it was over an hour long. What I will say is that they definitely brought up me and Jessie Woo's coverage on this. They didn't say our names directly many times throughout this interview, which I will give my thoughts on that in a separate video. And AD did admit that she did not know the full social media scandal of it all. She didn't even watch Bry's videos on the matter. So I do think that without that knowledge, a lot of things went uncovered and untouched. But let me give you guys the nitty-gritty of the interview because it was really long. So to me, the first question of importance was how the children news impacted their marriage. Ashley says that it impacted it immediately. She had to question who she was laying next to. She didn't know what was and wasn't true. She said that at the time, Tyler had all the answers to everything. She says that they got along really well, but from the beginning, it created a hole between them. She said that she was being drugged on his behalf, so she naturally had resentment towards him, and it shifted everything in their marriage. For timeline purposes, you guys have to remember that by the time this scandal broke out, Tyler and her had already been married for nearly a year. She said that during the time he was depressed as well, and at the 11-minute and 50-second mark, she does just outright say that he is a pathological liar. And because AD was not up to date on all of the social media drama that went down, she goes, let's break this down. So she starts at the reunion and she goes on to say that at the time of the reunion, all we knew, all the audience knew, was that he was a sperm donor to children. Now, remember that when the reunion filmed, Bry's videos on her side of the story were not out yet. Ashley did say in the interview that had Bry's videos been out yet, she feels like her approach at the reunion would have been different. However, I will say that there was enough information out by the time the reunion filmed for Ashley to not be speaking so loudly and so boldly. For example, the grandmother had already posted videos. There were already pictures of him with the children in Christmas pajamas at pumpkin patches. The photos of him at the twins' birth were out there. The child support that he owed child support was out there. But I do feel like there was enough information out there, even though Bry had not publicly spoken. Bry's ex-wife had spoken at this point. So again, a lot of information was already out there. Ashley says that the only thing Tyler said on and off camera was that he was a sperm donor with zero complexities around it. He even went as far as to say that he hadn't seen the children in a year or two, that Bry had him blocked because she wanted to raise the children with her lesbian partner. Ashley reiterates that she saw Bry's video after the reunion filmed and that Tyler said it wasn't true. She said that he's standing on the fact that they never had sex at all. He said his mom and his friends are all standing on it. And to this day, he is still standing on that he did not conceive the twins via sex. She did say that she does not believe that. I do feel like in this segment, AD and Ashley were taking subtle little jabs at Bry. AD said that you don't need a 5-part video to say you had sex with somebody. Well, maybe if you had watched them, you would actually see what she said. And it was a 5-part video, but they weren't all at a 10-minute capacity. Anyway, Ashley says she's trauma blocked it out, a lot of what happened in the videos, although she did go on to explain what happened in Bry's videos pretty accurately. If you want to break down on what Bry said in her videos, I do have a video on it on my page. She did clarify that she didn't mean to demean the children by calling them sperm donor children at the reunion, but that's just what she believed at the time. And she did call Bry's video a lengthy explanation of what happened. AD does ask her if she ever got the truth, and Ashley says that she found it herself. You mean the internet found it for you and literally presented it to you? Literally everything I had and put on the internet was given to me by family members. So, I mean, whatever. I digress. I found it for you, but okay, you're welcome. She said that she went through his computer and found everything she needed to see. She did say that she has every weapon in her arsenal to destroy Tyler, but it's not her style. She does say there are major complexities around the situation and how the children were conceived. She says this several times throughout the interview, which to me is an implication that she's still implicating that Bry is not telling the truth in some regard. Now, at the 18-minute and 30-second mark, she does take ownership and apologize to Bry. This is the first time we've ever heard her issue any type of apology to anyone. She says as a woman, she wants to take ownership and apologize to the mother of those children for anything she said that went against anything that Bry said that was true. She did put an emphasis on was true. She said that because her defending it watered down Bry's story. But, so it was an I'm sorry, but in the same breath, there is so much more to this story than that's not public knowledge. And she did her own research because he kept lying. AD did just like flat out ask, like, what did you find? The only thing that she answered directly was that she found a Google Meet chat of between Bry and Tyler over the years. And she said they both created a messy situation by their actions and how they went about things. And then again, she says there's major complexities with how the children were conceived. She did acknowledge that Tyler seen the kids and Bry the day before he left, and he had initially told her that he hadn't seen them in years. Again, that is a story that I broke because Bry sent me the messages of him being with the children the day before they left. AD at the 20-minute and 31-second mark just asked, is he a sperm donor or no? And she says that to her knowledge, he is a sperm donor for Kai, and he fathered the twins naturally, which is what I've said over and over in all my videos. So I don't know how I'm a liar or I'm making stuff up or I'm a TikTok journalist that don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. She did say that she's being very careful with what she says because she doesn't want to tell Tyler's story for him, but she does believe that he fathered the twins naturally. Yeah, there was a picture of him at their birth, and he's on their birth certificate. She said that Tyler's first red flag was a month into the marriage, and at that point she was already in it and didn't want to get divorced. Katie does ask like how Ashley believed all of this slipped through casting and production. And Ashley says that Tyler had to have deleted it before casting. People are saying that it was deleted after. Bry said that she noticed that he deleted the videos of the children around the time that he got back from the vacation, the honeymoon. Because remember, they were in contact even when he was on his way to the vacation. I dropped those text messages for you. I have a video on them on my page. But in those messages, you can literally see him talking to Bry, sending pictures of him on the airplane, saying that Ashley's not his typical type. So yeah, she noticed that the pictures of the children were deleted after that. I fully believe that casting 100% knew about these children. They couldn't have guessed that he would lie about it to the extent that he did. But he allegedly told casting he was a donor, and Ashley believed that they didn't look further into it past being a donor. But again, he did at one point have pictures of the children on his social media pages posted as their father, not as a donor. You can see all of those pictures on my page. I have them all. As far as the Christmas pajamas, he had told Ashley he didn't have any pics of them because he wasn't in their life. So again, the Christmas pictures were out by the time of the reunion. So again, her taking that stance on the reunion and saying that it would have been different had Bry's videos been out, enough information was out for you not to like be boldly, like blindly supporting him at this point. She said that she really clung to the fact that no one in their right mind would lie like this, knowing that the truth is out there and going on a national platform and lying to this extent. Granted, it's diabolical. We've never seen anything like it. He did say that before the reunion, she asked him if she was sleeping with the enemy. She actually choked up in this moment, and he said no. He said that she also asked him if there was anything that she needed to know and not to feed her to the wolves, and he said no. And he fed her ass to the wolves. So she said she felt like she had the reassurance, and that's why she went out there and spoke so boldly on his behalf. AD said that he allowed her to be loud and wrong, which absolutely he did. And she said that Ashley ends up getting it more than him, and that he didn't know what to say, so she spoke for him. Yes, we saw a lot of that. She says that, but if you notice that she didn't say a peep after Bry's videos came out. But Tyler did do the Dear Future Wifey podcast after her videos were out. They did not bring up that interview at all during this interview. She says that her discernment kicked in after the reunion, after Bry's videos were posted. She said that Tyler told her that he had no idea that the twins had his last name. And then Ashley went through his email and found a document that he had signed authorizing the name change back to Bry's last name that he had sent to Bry. When she confronted it with him, he literally said that that wasn't his signature. So he was lying about stuff that was right in his face. Also, I made a video about that name change, them having his last name like a long time ago, but whatever. And they both reference me and Jessie at the 42-minute mark of the interview, but this is getting long, so you're gonna have to go to part 2. I watched Ashley's interview on AD's podcast, so you didn't have to, and you're welcome because it was over an hour long. I already posted a part 1, which covers most of the children drama. I am going to go over what else was said that is of importance. If you haven't checked out part 1, check it out. He did reference me and Jessie Woo, not by name in this interview, but very, shisty and shadily, which I also will have a video on dissecting what she said about us and my thoughts on it. So make sure you check that out as well. So Ashley says that she's taking the word divorce back and she's changing it from a negative to a positive of feeling liberated. Okay. She said that initially she was terrified to say anything because of the social media vitriol behind it all, and she didn't want to be a headline again. But if she can speak so boldly for a man, she damn sure can speak for herself. You damn sure could apologize for speaking so boldly for a man and being loud and wrong, but you didn't apologize for that, but whatever. She did apologize to Bri. She gave her an I'm sorry, but, which we went over in part 1, so check it out. So the last 4 months, she's been reflecting and healing. One part of the interview that I found interesting is she was asked some type of question about how she's gone from being single to being married, and she said that what she misses about being married is she misses being part of the secret wives club. Okay, you were married for a year, relax. She said the friendships that she made with people who are married and that professional people treat you different when you're married, but she likes being single. She thrives when she's single. She did say that she writes in a gratitude journal daily and that she is in therapy. She says they pushed me to therapy. I think she means us, the internet. Did speak very highly of herself throughout the interview. She kept saying how wise she is and how self-aware she is and how intuitive, blah, blah, blah she is. She does say that she is currently working on forgiving herself and she beats herself up over her mistakes. Now, if you want to hear a lot of the child drama, we unpack that in part 1. She goes into how she found out about the kids, the internet, even though she would never say that, and how she believes that the twins were conceived naturally, and her thoughts on Bri's video and all of that. So watch part 1. That's where the juicy stuff is. She did say at one point in the interview that she's not the only person that believed Tyler. She said the whole camera crew believed him. Production would often cry and thank him for his service, his sperm donation service, his going to Pound Town service, and that she really clung to the fact that there's no way that someone would go on global television and lie like this. She was holding on to that and hoping that something would come out to prove his innocence because she just couldn't wrap her head around the way somebody would lie like that, which facts, because diabolical, next level. He needs to be studied. There will never be another, hopefully. She does say that his life was in a disarray in more areas than one, and to marry her was crazy work. She still to this day does not know what his intentions were, if it was for fame, and that she still questions if he even loved her at all. I'm gonna just say no. I'm gonna just go with no. She says that in no way, shape, or form was he ready for marriage. And she, again, says she's wise and intuitive. So it was a mind F for her and that he really presented as that guy. She said that over the year of marriage, he didn't present as who he is now. She had to go and reflect back on all of his lies because there were many, many told throughout their year of marriage. And I wish AD would have asked what, besides his secret children, of course. She said there were no red flags while filming, that he was on his P's and Q's, but she said there were many assurances that he gave her in the pods that he didn't stick to. And it got to a point where she had to build him up and had to help him learn to be a leader in the marriage, and that it was a lot. And she said that he often did little things because that was the extent of what he could do, like the coffee and shit. Y'all remember how she was ranting and raving that he brings her coffee? She said she wanted him to feel valued, so she made the little things big things. So she was clinging to the bare minimum and making those things feel super important, which, I get it. Kind of praising the little shit a motherfucker do because he can't do shit else. She says that she does put the pressure on herself to stick beside her man. She does talk about the reunion, the night before the reunion, Bry's videos. Again, that's in part 1. She does keep saying that she found out about so many different things, not just the children. And AD did not ask not one time what some of those things were. Again, AD did verbally say in this interview that she did not watch a lot of the social media debacle. So there's a lot of shit she didn't know and didn't bring up. He was allegedly texting and trying to meet up with a woman while you guys were engaged in the shared apartment. That never came up. Remember, I shared those texts and she tried to say that anybody can make fake texts, and then I showed the number and then still nobody asked her about it. Yeah, still nobody asked her about it, not even in this interview. Did say that people were writing her job trying to get her fired, which is excessive, okay? She did say that towards the end, Tyler told her that he didn't have the emotional capacity to be there for her right now. You ain't got shit. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no job. You got a bunch of kids and you don't even have emotional capacity at this point. Get out. She did say that their house was in shambles and she ripped him a new one daily. It was never sweet. They did not bring up the Dear Future Wifey podcast that he did and all the lies he told there. She did say that regarding the breakup, she did release a blanket statement and that she didn't tell him. She wanted him to be blindsided like she was blindsided. She said he was pissed. He didn't reach out after her breakup announcement, but he has been making the divorce hard, not responding to the lawyer and just kind of dragging it out. She believes that's like, his retaliation for her blindsiding him with the divorce announcement. She says she can officially file for divorce May 21st at 11:59. So today, because in their state, you have to wait 6 months to officially file. So the 6-month mark is now. At the 42-minute mark is when she talks about me and Jessie and our coverage on this story, which I have a whole video on, so check that out. She says that they're all still normal people and people think that when they go on this show, they become a star. No, we don't. We don't think that at all. She does say that she wore the culture on her back during filming and she presented as smart and educated and classy and didn't act ignorant, and it was dismissed because of a man, and she hates that that's what tainted it. Again, I feel like Ashley really didn't take any accountability for her own actions in this interview, because your image was not tainted because of a man. Your image was tainted because of your reaction to that man. She actually said in this interview that it wasn't like we didn't like her because of her. We didn't like her because of her counterpart, which is not true. Like, people were definitely able to separate the two people. People did not like you, Ashley, because I'm sure you're watching this video. People did not like you, Ashley, because of your hoity-toity attitude regarding his actions. At the point of the reunion and at the point of the Vile Files, when you did all of these interviews, you can sit in front of AD and say that you didn't know anything because Bry's videos weren't out, but I covered the story, so I know what was out, and there was enough information out there for you to start doing the research on your own. You say that you found this research and you did it on your own. Pictures were out. The grandmother had made videos. The ex-wife had spoken out. The child support documents and court filings were all online. The photos of him at the twins' birth were already online. There was enough information out there. The text messages that he was with another girl while you guys were living in a shared apartment were all online. So for you to say that you didn't know anything by the time of the reunion is complete boo hockey, okay? So no, people didn't like you because of your actions and how you handled the situation. Because again, after you did find out that he fathered those children naturally and had abandoned them for 2 years, what did you do? But what did you do for those kids? Did you ever apologize to his mother? No, because I spoke to the mother of the children. Did you apologize for that hoity-toity, holier than thou, I know everything attitude? No, and you still didn't in this interview. At one point, she does admit to Tyler being a deadbeat. She says you stood by a deadbeat, and she says, and did, and it's something that she has to deal with. Oh, she did address the none of you have ever been married and it shows comment. She says that what she meant by it is that people were expecting her to up and bounce immediately. And if it was our real marriage, non-show related, that it's not what any of us would do. We would follow the man to court and support him up until it was time to walk away. And that we don't view love as blind marriage and love as real, but it was very real to her. So if anyone felt attacked by that statement, that's on them. She says she hasn't spoken to Tyler. Any event she goes to, she makes sure that he's not going to be there. She hasn't seen him since the first week in January. He came to get the rest of his stuff out. She still believes in love and believes that there's somebody out there for her. And what she would have done differently, she said in the moment she did what her heart told her to do. That she would protect her empathy, and she believes Tyler played on her empathy with all his sad stories, and that she is open to doing another dating show. No thanks. She also says that if the public wants to just for another celebrity, I don't know what celebrity she's talking about, but we should be mindful of our delivery. That she was navigating an impossible situation the best way she knew how, and that she's proud of herself for leaving because some people stay and stuck in that cycle for 20 years. She says she's not desperate, she's bagged men. She's not a bird. She's not dating right now, but her DMs are open, but come cooked, okay? That's what she did. Did not bring up the messages between her and Bry, her pretending like Bry apologized to her. Also did not bring up the fact that Tyler is on dating apps and a lot of shit, to be honest. But anyway, you want to hear more about this, check out the Reality Receipts podcast. There's no time limit. But that's the full recap. So Ashley and AD definitely brought up me and Jessie Woo's coverage of this whole Tyler scandal in their recent interview. If you have not watched the interview, I do have a full recap on it, but this particular video is just going to be about what they said about me and Jessie. Now, they didn't reference us by name, but anybody who's following the story know that me and Jessie Woo were the ones who broke this story wide open. So at the 42-minute mark, actually, let me just play what they had to say about us.
The house, praying email. Oh, we told you so. You know, in the most cruel, disgusting a way I have ever seen people prey on someone, and it came from, again, inside the house.
Yes, it did.
And I don't want to say no one's name in particular, but there is a very loud presence on the internet that just. It was almost like she was just sitting there waiting,
checking.
You know exactly what I'm
checking
talking
daily.
about.
Yes. Checking daily,
waiting.
Yeah, I think that they kept hiding behind the fact that it was for the kids. It was for the kids to justify how they were. And that's the thing. They were coming at me more than him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't rationalize that because it doesn't make sense to me.
Because you were so
But even in that, right, it's still not my act.
It's not.
You know what I mean? And although, people were saying, like, it wasn't my problem, it was because this is someone I was choosing to, believe in, someone that was supposed to protect me and someone that vowed to. So, at that time, I'm still navigating.
Okay, so that was one part of it. I'll play the other part where she references us again later. But as you can see, it's coming from inside the house, right? That's AD's favorite line. And again, in that statement, she is implicating that it's Black women tearing down or bringing down another Black women. And again, when it comes to recapping reality TV or reporting reality TV news, I hate that it has to be so personalized or people expect a certain level of immunity based on race. I'm sorry, I give my opinion and I spill stories. I don't care who the race is. Like it's my job. It's what I do. If you watch the interview, then you know that nothing that me and Jessie reported was actually false. Actually, in this interview, Ashley admits that everything that we reported, she didn't say that everything we reported was true, but she admits that Cairo was conceived by a sperm donor and that the twins were conceived naturally. That was like the basis of our story, was that he has fucking kids and he's lying about it. So nothing that we said was false. And in the beginning, a lot of people were rooting for Ashley. And it wasn't until the reunion when everyone realized like, oh, okay, you know what's going on and you're still choosing to stick beside him, that people turned on her. People gave her a lot of grace up until that point, myself included. Nobody started calling her a bird and started calling her names until her actions were hoity-toity. You acting like you know more than everybody when literally everybody's putting things in your face. I think it's very foul that at no point in this interview did AD call Tyler disgusting. Did she call his actions disgusting? How he treated his baby mama disgusting? What he's done to his kids disgusting? But me and Jessie Woo are cruel and disgusting for reporting a story and keeping the internet up to date with the facts. At one point she was like, why is everyone so passionate about other people's business? Because it's entertainment news. Is it that other people's business? Don't you have a podcast literally talking about people's business because you're in the business of entertainment? Anyway, she said that we were hiding behind saying that we were protecting the kids. Ashley was talking about us both because she's saying they. I believe that AD was referencing Jessie because she has taken digs at Jessie in the past. She likes negative comments regarding her. She doesn't really make it a secret that she has a beef with Jessie. So I do believe that AD was talking about Jessie specifically. Ashley is clearly saying they, even though she tried to pretend and deny that she knew who I was, as did Tyler, and yet he ended up in my comments, even though I was blocked. I believe I'm still blocked by him and Ashley. And let me clarify that I never said that I was doing anything to protect the kids or doing this for the kids. I'm breaking a story. I am a journalist. I'm breaking a story. Why aren't you yelling at People Magazine and Cosmopolitan and every other big publication that picked up this story? It is a story. It was a national story. It was the biggest story of the season, and me and Jessie Woo were not the only ones that talked about it. So I don't know what the beef is. Like, why don't you yell at Cosmo? She goes on to say that we were doing it for clickbait and it was a takedown of her and Tyler. Like, stop personalizing it. It was a story. It was a story. It was a story that was true. It was a story that was true. We didn't say anything that was fake. It was tea that was spilled, and it was a story that was true. Why you're personalizing it? Nobody made the videos because we actually have hate in our hearts for you. Yes, I have hate in my heart for a man who abandons his kids. You stood beside him, your pig, your farm. It's not personal. There will be 100 Ashleys. I cover seasons. Every season, I cover tea every season. It's not personal. Anyway, let's hear what else they had to say about us.
So people are saying that they're making videos to protect the kids, or
I guess they're saying like, this is about the kids. Like we're digging so hard because it's about the children, but it stopped being about the children a long time ago.
Okay.
And it started being about clickbait to me.
Okay.
And I think that by them hiding behind that, it could mask what was really going on, which was a takedown for him and me, which, okay,
why are we so passionate about other people's business like that to the point where it needs to be hurtful? There's so many things that I saw was like, how is this helpful?
It was the most dehumanizing experience of my life.
How is this helpful?
It wasn't. And how does this help the kids? Because honestly, the more information that came out, the sadder I felt for the children for when they get to Google. You know what I mean? And if we're talking about heart here and we're talking about actually caring, that's sad. And I think there could have been a way to go about this. Even the women who were saying, we're just doing this.
Yeah, so that's basically what they had to say about us and our coverage of it. Again, I think they're personalizing it way too much. Again, a lot of smoke for us and not nearly that much smoke for Tyler, the culprit in all of this. Not a single acknowledgement of Ashley's role in all of this, or accountability for her hoity-toity attitude. Anyway, I will be talking about this further. Honestly, there was so much to unpack in this interview. I will be talking about it further on my podcast, the Reality Receipts podcast, and I'm almost certain that after I send this to Jessie, she's going to want to discuss it on her platform as well. So maybe we will do a deep dive together. As you guys know, we busted this story wide open. We have all the facts. We have all the details. Something that I think that AD was lacking in this interview. So it was hard for her to hold Ashley accountable with some of her answers. That's what happens when you don't know what's going on and you are hosting a podcast that's run by Kinetic and Netflix. But whatever. Next time, just add us. Next time, at least forgive us the clickbait shit, since that's what we want. Give us the clout shit. How the fuck you mad at me for trying to tell you about some shit that was true? It's not that I was lying. It's not that I was wrong. I was 100% right. So what the hell you mad at me for? You should be thanking me. I gave you all the proof. I gave you all the receipts. I told you this man was lying. I tried to tell before the reunion was out that I had the deets. What the fuck? You got smoke from the wrong bitch, okay?